Lava.
What's up, J-Dubs?
Hey, good morning.
I got a sponge cooking. We're going to have you smell it in a minute. We've been talking about how you get stinky things off your hands.
Things that
You didn't tell me this before I came in.
leave
Now I know why you were like, hey, get in there. Let's go. Come on, we got to go.
Jeff swears the sponge is terrible and you can't get the smell off of it.
Yeah,
We just got into a
sponges
sponge.
stink,
yeah,
man.
they can get sour.
The
and
one,
stuff.
the one in my house doesn't.
We're going to let our guest speaker do it, Doug.
No, I'm not going to.
Well, that's fine. Hey, Doug, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
And you work at the CHP with JW?
I do. I'm the dispatch supervisor over there.
Oh, okay. So you're the guys calling out the stuff on the radio.
That's right.
Oh, so you never have to do any of the.
He doesn't
you have to
do
the
anything.
communications. You never have to do any of the dirty work. Maybe we should have you smell the sponge.
All right.
See?
I'm
See?
sure.
No,
I'm sure JW has smelt some things in the field that he'd rather not smell.
I'm sure he's had to go through cars.
Yeah.
We all have seen cops. You got to do searches.
Smell
You got to get into
guts.
people's
Ugh.
stuff.
Nasty.
Yeah.
It's gross. Roadkill.
You ever, yeah. Ugh.
Skunks. I
Guts.
mean, you're working with roads.
Yeah.
That's not.
Real quick, though, guys, we got Victoria on the line. She wanted to weigh in on this whole thing. She's been holding on. Go ahead.
You know, you can get that smell off your hands if you wash them in toothpaste.
Oh, really?
But then
I know that sounds really weird, but yeah.
But then your hands smell like toothpaste. You know, I mean, all these pieces of advice. It's like you wash it with lemon, then your hands wash with lemon. But I guess toothpaste is better than dirty ass sponge.
If you put lemon on your sponge before you microwave it, it'll come out smelling better. Lemon or vinegar,
Oh, okay. Well, God, that's
like
some
a half
great.
teaspoon.
That's some great information.
You
All
said
right.
half teaspoon of vinegar. We have vinegar here. Let's do that.
White vinegar or
then
lemon juice.
Then it's going to smell like vinegar.
I don't have vinegar on it, but it's in the microwave right now. It's been in there for a minute and a half.
Oh, you're going to explode the thing.
I wouldn't put it in that long. You're going to melt the damn thing.
Yeah,
No,
you know,
I've done it for over 2 minutes before. But I'm going to bring
Have
it in
you
here.
really?
Yeah, it's cooling right now.
maybe that's
And then
part of
we'll-
its problem. Maybe whatever bacteria you cooked
and
into
if you
it.
don't like that smell of the rubber gloves from your dentist, tell them you're allergic to, oh God, what's it called?
Latex?
Latex. And they'll use neoprene ones.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Are we ready? I've got the sponge here. It's been brought back to me. What's that?
Said cooking a sponge.
JW, you're not going to take one for the team for your
Well,
buddy
you know,
here?
because
this is
I know
first
Doug,
day.
he's got a weak stomach, and he's older. And we actually got him out of the office
I'm
today,
leaving.
so I don't want to scare him too
This
much.
thing has stunk forever,
Let me
Doug.
see
I'm
this
just
thing.
warning you right
So
now.
if I got to smell this,
Oh,
man.
All right. On a scale
that's
of
nothing.
1 to 10, stinkiest being 10 is the grossest thing
That's
you've
a
ever
1.
smelled. Okay, thank
That's
you very
it?
much.
So the
nothing.
microwave.
Hey,
Let me see it.
I would use that to
No,
wash dishes.
I want a second opinion.
Let Doug smell it.
All right, Doug. Dougie Fresh.
I would. Hey,
It's not that bad to me.
No, I want to smell it now.
I would use that to wash dishes with.
You guys are my guinea pig.
Clean.
Where'd
Where'd you find it at?
I'd wash my boys with that.
Yeah.
Oh, mama.
You probably did. That's why you're
You know
giving it
what?
to me.
Remarkably, that does. How long did you cook this for?
A minute.
A minute?
Or a couple minutes. I can't remember now. It's been sitting out there for a while and it's still a little warm.
Despite its appearance, it's remarkably.
Yeah.
It really works.
I just
was
don't
all
ever want to
worried.
smell it again, though. Eek.
Oh, and it didn't leave that
No.
that smell on my fingers that it usually does. Okay, I'm okay. I'm on board with the.
So you put it in the microwave for a minute, and that gets rid of it.
That's how you get all the bacteria
Awesome.
off of it, and the sour smell goes away. You notice it still smells like a little bit like dish soap.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is it's a blue sponge. It looks a little
sad
gray.
thing
It's
is-
brown.
Yeah, it's gross. It's a disgusting.
The
sponge.
sad thing is, they cost like 25 cents.
I
was just
know.
gonna say,
And
can't we buy
and
one?
And we can't just buy like new ones. And the sad thing is,
Yeah.
that made the smell go away.
Yeah.
So people have been using it,
Ew.
like me, with the smelly sponge
Yeah.
when we haven't had to. When we just pop it in the
See,
microwave for a minute.
JW,
Yes,
Doug, you work for the state of California as well,
Yes,
correct?
I do.
See, we don't work for a government entity, boys.
Oh,
This is
here
a
we go.
private
I will
sector
tell you
business
this.
here.
We
And,
have
and
to
by
bring.
the way, since when
We
is the
can't just go
government
buying
paying
sponges.
25 cents for their sponges?
We bring our own
I
sponges
was just
in.
going to say, I buy them myself.
Yeah.
We're working off, the private sector here, so we have to pay for.
And
our
I may
sponges.
admit that the air conditioner in the office is usually a little bit lower than my house because the bill is free. But I buy my own.
I'm not
sponges.
agreeing to that.
All right, so JW loves to come in once a month and we hang out. And today you brought in Doug to talk a little bit
I brought
about
in Doug.
what's
He's
going
one
on
of-
with the dispatch.
Doug is one of our dispatch supervisors. Has been around for a long time. I'm not saying that he's old, but he's been around for a long time.
Thanks for bringing me in.
He is. He does have an AARP card. However, he wanted to come down. We're getting ready to hire some dispatchers. It's a great job, great career. If you test here locally, you work here locally. So we'll let Doug talk about it. He listens to our show, and a little jealous. So
I was not jealous.
I wanted to bring him out so he could see,
And here we are,
the
shoving
excitement.
sponges in your face.
And then we
Here, smell this.
Doug Showalter is here. He is the director of
Dispatch supervisor.
Dispatch Supervisor.
he doesn't direct anything.
All right. He supervises.
Supervisor.
And I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Tell us what you
What
do.
is the difference, really? Isn't
Yeah.
it semantics at that point?
Just a
what is-
name?
Well, it's a title thing. You know,
Okay.
it's not.
Do you have a director?
No, I answer
okay.
to our lieutenant.
I got
then if you're
Say
super-
your boss.
if you're-
Right,
That's right.
Jay?
We
You
have
got
the same boss.
If you're a supervisor, then you can call yourself a director.
Well,
I could call. I mean, that's what my supervisor directs me in things, right?
yeah, there is a lot of people in my position that call themselves different names, managers and things, and really our title is supervisor. So
So I'm guessing you were a 911 dispatcher for a long time before you got this. Before you get the supervisor position.
well, this is my 25th year, and I still answer 911 calls. I still do it. So I'm still out there answering calls. So if you call 911, there's a good chance you might get me.
You ever get a kidnapper like in the movies?
Well, we had that Amber Alert situation the other day.
Yeah.
Where we had the lady following the car from the Amber Alert.
What's the details on that? I guess I missed it.
That was that big, it was turned into a shooting down in
Out of
Salt
Vallejo.
Bank.
Oh,
The
I
girl
was out of town.
kidnapped. Girl was kidnapped in
Yeah.
Vallejo, and then
And that came in because a caller happened to see the car in front of her that matched the same description, called us. We ran the plate. It turned out to be the right vehicle. The rest is history.
Wow.
So
this was a local Amber Alert. Now, I was in Lake Havasu, Arizona, so I didn't get the alert, I'm guessing, on my phone. Because I
it was a
wasn't here.
Solano County up in Sacramento County.
Right.
Amber Alert. And it went out all over the place. And she happened to have Nixle on her phone, that little emergency app you get. She had that, and it popped up with the vehicle description. She just happened to be behind it just north of Santa Maria and called 911 and said, I think I'm behind this vehicle.
wow.
And told one of our...
Were you the one on the phone?
Nope, I happened to be off that day, but I was in the area and I drove in because I heard it was happening. So I wanted to go in and make sure everybody was okay and what was going on and stuff like that. So
How many dispatchers do you have here working for you locally?
We're supposed to have 17, so we have a couple of openings right now. And that's what we're trying to hire right now. We're trying to get people to apply for it. It takes a long time to get hired, so we're looking for the right person that can...
Do you have to have
stay
training
calm.
coming into this, or do you train?
No, we do a whole year of training.
Okay.
Because you start off answering 911 calls. That's the first part of this thing, and that's a lot of training involved with that. And then once you get that down, then we move you into radios, and you'll start dispatching on the radios. So
You have to have super thick skin to do this job?
No, but you have to have... I always tell people you have to have like a layer of empathy towards those callers. It's easy to become complacent and just sit back going, it's just the same thing over and over and over. But this is somebody's family. This is somebody's mother, father, sister, brother that's on the phone with you, scared, nervous. They don't know what to do. A lot of them have never called 911 before, so now they're calling and they've got you. And you're that first contact. So we're always telling people this is a training process. It takes a long time because if you get a really terrible call, and we've all had them, how you deal with that call internally is a big thing. That's why when we train you, we have to kind of prepare you to handle these things. Some of that's really tough to deal with. So you have to really kind of have the right personality to do this job.
Have you ever had, you've been doing this for 25 years, dreams about,
I will tell you, I had a very terrible call back when I was in L.A. back in the early 90s. And this man wanted to commit suicide, and he wanted to do it on the phone with me. And I could still hear his voice. I could still hear what he said. And I'm the last person to talk to him before he did it. And those are tough calls to get.
Yeah, I would
they just
imagine.
really are. And we have to tell people there's a way to kind of cope with these things. Internalizing it is not the way. You've got to talk to people about it and say, hey, this is something that impacted me. How do we deal with this? So
I was listening to a 911 tape the other day, and I forget what happened, but somebody was hurt and injured, and another party called, and they're like, hey, you need to send an ambulance right now. You need to send an ambulance right now. And the 911 the dispatcher kept asking questions. Now, you don't realize when you're on the other end and you're like, hey, I want somebody immediately.
Right.
You want somebody to provide aid to your loved ones immediately. And the guy kept saying, will you please send an ambulance? Will you please send an ambulance? Will you please send an ambulance? What is the thought process in asking all the questions from a 911 dispatcher?
Well, you would
standpoint?
think with today's technology that we would know exactly where you are.
I think we all assume that.
Everybody
Don't we?
does.
We really do. We figure that, with GPS and cell phones and towers and pings, that you just know as soon as we call in where we're
My
sitting.
Garmin in my car that cost me $100 will tell me which way I'm facing on the highway, how fast I'm going, and what lane I'm in. We don't get that when you call 911 on a cell phone. We get a kind of a location. We kind of know where you are. That's why we have to ask all those questions to see what's going on. And if you say, just get somebody over here, we have to know what we're sending our officers into.
Right.
Because we don't want to send them into something really dangerous. We got to ask questions. What happened? What's going on over there? Now, there's a way to do that and, provide that sense of calmness and tell somebody, oh, my gosh, Bill, you sound like you're really upset. What happened? Tell me what's going on. And then Bill will tell you a little bit at a time. And sometimes you got to pull the information from them because they all think we know exactly where they are. I've had many calls where people say, you know where I'm at.
Yeah,
we really don't.
I would just assume. Because in the days of landlines, you did, right?
Absolutely. You call from your house, it tells you your address and everything.
But
premise history.
Nobody has landlines anymore, which makes your job a lot harder when you would think with technology, everything has gotten easier.
Yeah, there's some stuff going around. I teach around the country, dispatchers around the country, and I will tell you that there's a lot of push from 911 side of this thing to get that technology to us. I understand there's other rules with that, and some people don't like the idea of somebody knowing exactly where you are when you call. I understand that. But when there's an emergency, it would certainly help us out a lot. It's kind of like when the officers got AVL in their patrol cars, that automatic vehicle locator, where we could see the cars, we know where they are. That was a huge technological boom for us because now if something should happen to them, God forbid, we'll know where they are. On a cell phone, we don't.
Well, this is what's weird to me, is the technology, it exists.
Oh, it absolutely does.
Because as a parent, you can track your teenager when they're driving by just downloading an app to your phone. So you can't tell me that it doesn't exist. And I mean, you are the front line of the first responders, so I can see how it would be very important for you to get that. What is the pushback? I mean, is it privacy concerns?
There's a lot of that out there. I mean, there's a lot of legislation going around, different places that are saying these things, and it's, it's just technology. When I started back in the 90s, there wasn't a lot of cell phones, but we had a bunch, but those gave you nothing.
Yeah.
Now we get your phone number. We get kind of a location where you're at. We know the subscriber information if we want to get it, like who's it registered to and stuff like that. We can kind of get that sometimes. So it's up to us to ask those kinds of questions of you. Even though you're experiencing something horrible, we still have to ask those kinds of questions of, hey, where are you? What's going on? And I tell you what, so many people say, I don't know where I'm at.
Right.
That's my job, is to figure out where you are.
By asking other questions.
That's right. Because we know our area. We dispatch from all the way to the top of San Luis Obispo, all the way down to Solvang, and our dispatchers have to know the area. So when somebody says, I don't know where I'm at, we can say, where were you heading to? Where were you going from?
Right.
What highway were you on? Where'd you pass? Did you pass that place, this place?
Well, speaking of that, Bill, I mean, when you call, hopefully, I've never had to call 911. Hopefully, nobody ever has to. But if you do, what are some things that you should have, like just right now today, to put in people's mind? These are at least three things that you should know.
I always tell people,
the answers to.
Look around when you're calling and see what you can see around you. There's street signs, there's milepost markers, is there off-ramp, on-ramp? Look around and give us that information, because so many times people say, I don't know, I'm out on the highway, I'm out here. And I understand in our area we don't have a lot of landmarks. There's some pretty open areas down by San Maria.
There's a big hill over here. Some vineyards right over here to my left.
So location is key.
Location is key, and we will ask you lots of questions. Like, normally our questions are, what's your name? Because we got to confirm that. And our policy is we have to verbally confirm your phone number with you. So a lot of people say, you know what it is. I understand that, but I still have to confirm it with you because our information could be wrong. So I have to ask that.
You know what? You should hire us to do this job, because we have to get people that win contests. And by the way, we have some macaroni and cheese tickets to give away here pretty soon. Yum. But people that win contests, we'll ask them what their phone number is, because we need to contact them to let them know when they can pick up their prize. And they're like, man, I don't know. And it's like, what do you mean you don't know your own phone number? And they're like, I just got this phone like a month ago. I've never really bothered on learning the phone number for it. It's like, God.
We get the same thing. We get the same thing. We ask people, where are you? People are just like, I don't know. I'm at McDonald's. Okay. Which one? There's a lot of them. So we have to kind of know. That's why it takes about a year for training to get you to know the area. Geography is one of our biggest things we have to teach somebody who's not really familiar with this area all the way down. So you have to know the whole thing.
Well, it's really interesting. All right. So any limitations to this job? Age restrictions?
Nope.
Education restrictions?
No. We're going to actually on this coming Thursday at the farmers market. We're going to be there. We're going to have our booth up. Come see us. We're going to give away information about how to apply, when to apply. Important dates for you to remember is the bulletin for the job is going to break. It's going to actually be released on Thursday, the same day. I'll have it with me at the farmers market to show you the minimum qualifications. A lot of people qualify. They don't think they do. And then on next Wednesday, not this coming, but the following Wednesday, we're going to have an open house at our San Luis Obispo office on Wednesday, June 15th at 7 o'clock. We're going to have an open house where you can come and we'll tell you about the job and how to apply for it, because so many times people send their applications in that are just incomplete at best. I always tell them, look, if you worked at Carl's Jr., that's awesome. Don't just put, I worked at Carl's Jr. You did conflict management. You did cash management. You did customer service.
Sell yourself.
Just make sure
sell
you fill
yourself.
it out.
Exactly. So that's what we're going to tell them about. And we're going to have our background officers there to tell you what they're looking for if we send you into backgrounds, because that's important too. We have to.
You mean like your past?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, I said earlier you should have us do the job. Never mind.
Well, I'll
strike
tell you,
that from the record.
I'll tell you one of the key questions I ask during every interview I ever do is we conduct a very serious background investigation. Is there anything in your background you want to tell us about now?
Public urination.
That we will find about. Well, we've had some people say some things that are surprising to me.
Have you ever had anybody just turn around and run out the door?
Some of them should have, but
All right, so Thursday night, Farmers Market, look for CHP 10.
right. Next
and-
Wednesday, the 15th, we're going to be having our open house, 7
Okay.
o'clock, at the office on California over here.
Oh, sure. Okay. And you just park in the lot there, and there's really no front door there, is there?
Oh, yeah, there is. There's
okay.
a lot down below, the front lot.
Okay, there is a door there.
Where are you guys
We'll be
setting up
there.
shop on Farmers Market? Because I always see it in different places.
Well, 2 weeks ago, they moved us down to the end because of had so many things, equipment, because it was
heavy equipment
police night or
Yeah.
whatever it was. But usually we're around Napomo Street, I think, right next to a bratwurst stand.
That's true. Right next
Can't be
to
that bad. The brat shop. All right. Well, great to meet you, Doug.
Nice to meet
and
you
always
guys.
good to see you, JW.
All right, good to see y'all. Thank you.
All right. When we
Thanks
come
very
back,
How come they didn't put you guys next to the mini donuts, people?
Wow.
Because we don't eat donuts.
Ouch.
Jeff and Jeremy, the KZOZ Morning Mind Fun.
we got your mac and cheese on. It's time to get your mac on. And it's happening a week from this Saturday. It's the 5th Annual Mac and Cheese Fest, happening at the Apple Beach Golf Resort. We got a couple of tickets to send you right now.
According to a recent survey, men are twice as likely to do this in the